Once a professor entered his class and wanted to demonstrate a concept to his students. He took a big glass bowl and filled it with golf balls and asked the students if the bowl was full. The students agreed that the bowl was full. The professor then took a jar of pebbles and poured it in the glass bowl. He shook the bowl slightly and the pebbles fell through the gaps. He then asked the students again whether the glass bowl was full. They all agreed again. The professor now picked up a bag of sand and poured it over the glass bowl. The sand fell through the gaps again. He again asked the students whether the bowl was full. All the students laughingly said, "Yes." On this, the professor said, "This glass bowl represents your life, and the golf balls are your important goals. The small pebbles are your secondary goals, and the sand represents the noise in your life." Now, the professor emptied the glass bowl and refilled it first with the sand. Now the professor asked the students whether now can he add the golf balls and the small pebbles to the bowl. The students responded with a no, as the glass bowl had no space left. The professor said, "Exactly. This shows how important it is to prioritize and decide what goes in first in your life and what is important to you. Goal setting helps you do that prioritizing. Otherwise, if you fill your life first with the sand, you will have no room left for anything important in your life. Introduction. Goal setting. Goal setting technique is one of the most integral techniques used by all successful people across the world. Goal setting helps you ask yourself, "What do I want?" and helps you go after that. It helps you ask the right questions to get the right answers and shows the path to reach those answers. Goal setting helps you sidestep the foggy thinking and allows you to think with clarity and focus. Once a traveler was at crossroads and asked a bystander, "Which road is the correct road?" The bystander asked, "Where do you want to go?" The traveler said, "He doesn't know." On this, the bystander replied, "Then it does not matter which road you take. No road will take you where you want to go, because you are going nowhere. So it is important to know where we are going." Goal setting helps us plan our journeys towards what is important to us and what we want in our life. Writing your goals. Writing your goals and goal setting are almost equivalent to each other. Not writing your goals is like cooking a hot pot recipe but not turning on the gas. This is how much they go hand in hand. When you write your goals, you see your goals taking a form. It helps you clearly see for yourself whether you really want what you think you want. Writing your goals increases your probability of taking action and achieving them by 10x. While writing your goals, parallelly you can think of the opportunities and challenges associated with them. This would help you plan beforehand of any obstacles or roadblocks that you might face down the line. The 5 why technique. You can also club your goal setting practice with the 5 why technique. You should do this when you need to be absolutely clear why you need to go after a certain goal. Knowing where you are going is one thing. Knowing why are you going there is another. You apply the 5 why technique to your primary goal. For example, you want to switch from a full-time job to being a businessman. You may ask, "Why do I want to do that?" You may answer, "I'm done with the rat race." You follow it up with a why. Why are you done with the rat race? "I am tired." You follow it up again with a why. Why are you tired? You may say, "I hate my job." You ask again, why you hate your job? You may say, "I want to be my own boss." You ask again, why you want to be your own boss? You may say, "I want to work on my own terms, help others, spend time with family, and want to slow down in life." Now, there is no compulsion that you have to stop at the fifth answer of a why. You can apply as little and as many whys you want. Just keep it real. This helps you think clearly and avoids impulsive actions about why you want something. When we face setbacks with our goals, These answers from the 5 why technique help us stick with our goals and reminds us why we took up this goal in the first place. When writing goals, rather than having a laundry list for every walk of life, you can write everything down and then prioritize them based on their impact, importance, and domain. You have to choose the vital few or the trivial many. Remember our glass bowl example from the start of the video. Funnel your goals like a pyramid. You can break up your goals in long range goals, medium term goals, and short term goals. You can design a funnel such a way that your short term goals fuel and gets you closer to your medium term goals, and your medium term goals fulfillment gets you closer to your long term goals. You can further bucket your goals according to various walks of life, like health goals, wealth and career goals, parenting and family goals, and so on. But remember, take one area of life at a time, most likely the one that would make highest impact and needs immediate attention. 80-20 rule. You can apply the 80-20 rule to your goal setting practice. This 80-20 rule is called the Pareto principle. The 80-20 rule suggests that 80% of effects in our life comes from 20% of causes. 80% of impact in our life comes from 20% of our actions. So we need to identify these 20% of actions that has 80% impact on our life, and we need to prioritize them accordingly. Goal setting method. Chunking. When you break bigger goals into smaller actionable goals, this is called chunking. Think of chunking as breaking a wall. How do you break a wall? One brick at a time. Break your wall into smaller bricks. You may not be able to break an entire wall in one blow, but you can always break one brick at a time. Goal setting method 2. Start with the end result in your mind. Start with the end result in your mind and make your way back up to the current time, where you visualize and think it through, that what all steps you would have taken and skills you would have acquired to reach this final goal. What you would have become to reach this goal. This goal setting method uses visualization technique. For example, you wanted to write a book and become a published author. You will visualize the end outcome in your mind. You will see yourself as a published author. You're standing in a bookstore and picking your own book. Which section of the book are you standing? Fiction or non-fiction? What genre of book are you holding? Fantasy or self-help? How does the book look like? What is the title of the book? What does the bio at the back of the book say about you? What are the table of contents look like? This is just a glimpse of the exercise. This is how you build your goal setting with keeping the end as your starting point and make your way back up to the present time. SMART goals. You have to give a form to your goals. You should be able to articulate your goals to yourself and if need arises to others as well. There should be clear differentiation on how an achieved goal looks like than an unachieved one. For this, you need to design SMART goals. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Rather than saying, I want to travel the world, you can make it specific by stating, I want to travel the world in next 5 years. Or you can make it more specific and say, next year I will travel to Europe. Following that year, I will travel to Southeast Asia. And further, I'll plan my travel for next coming years. This just took you from a vague, larger goal to a specific, actionable and time-bound goal. Many goals may get achieved in progression, like in case of developing a skill. You progress from being a beginner to being proficient, and then to being a master. You can come up with your own milestone levels as well. Standard of your goals. Do not set such high and unrealistic goals that they crush you at the slightest obstacle and roadblock. Also, do not set your goals such low that when you achieve them, they hardly have any meaningful impact on your life. Maintain a balance. Have realistic, motivating, and impactful goals. Keep them that high that they have a meaningful impact and they act as a winner's reward. Sharing your goals. It is suggested that you should share your goals with your near and dear ones who may support you in working towards your goals. We suggest you can take a different approach to this. When your goals are in infancy stage, raw and are very fragile, keep them to yourself. At the most, share it with your very close associates and family. After that, keep it very close to your heart till the time you do not see some momentum. The best approach would be to let your goals achievement do the talking rather than you talking about your goals. This is suggested because not everyone in your life sees and processes life the way you do. What's important and a priority to you may not be to someone else. Most of the time, this happens unintentionally, where we can get influenced by opinions and views of others and abandon our original approach, which may have been more suitable and appropriate for us. At times, views and opinions of others are helpful and can give us new insights and unlock newer approach methods. But for most part, especially with important goals, outside influence introduces contradiction and gets us in two minds. You can seek outside views and opinions from near ones and dear ones when you really need one. Let this not be your starting point to decide what is right for you. Take initial ideas, goals as fragile glass. The lesser hands the glass passes through, the higher the chance of keeping the glass intact. Planning for hurdles. Identify hurdles, roadblocks beforehand. For this, again you can take help of visualization technique to identify them and think them through. Identify the price or sacrifice that you may have to face to achieve your goal. Goal setting means reaching a certain point, place, or having a desire, so it involves action and movement. That means it triggers change, and change is never easy for anyone. Ask yourself, are you ready for change? Some goals may involve change in lifestyle, change in level of skills and effort, change in routine, change in relationships, change in time spent with family, and so on. So know the price. Here, price does not necessarily mean a bad thing. For example, if you want to build your physique, the price that you'll have to pay will be to live a disciplined routine, go to the gym every day, have strict diet and give up junk food. The final goal looks very flowery, but most of the people fail to achieve their goals because they are not ready to pay the price or do not want to go through the process involved. Plan for detours. No goal achievement journey is going to be smooth or straightforward. Rather than constantly focusing on the final goal, focus on the process and the milestones. The milestones which will take you to the final goal. Set goals that motivate and interests you. Do not abandon your goals at the first sign of a hurdle. This may happen when you are interested in the goal but not in the process. You may be interested in reducing the weight but not in the rigorous diet management and the workout involved. You may be interested in becoming rich but not in putting in the effort, acquiring the required skills, discipline, and the risk associated with it. Introduce a rewarding mechanism on achieving milestones. It is natural to lose motivation and drive when constantly working towards our goal, especially when we have such fast lives and so many demands contesting for our attention. In such situations, it is very important that we keep nurturing our motivation and build our goals such a way that we break them in smaller, actionable goals and milestones. When we achieve these milestones, we reward ourselves. It could be anything that would motivate us. Celebrate your milestones. This would keep you motivated and keep you going. Creating the action plan. If goal setting is the blueprint of the things that we want to achieve, then action plan is what executes the blueprint. It's not the planning of goals that sets you apart. It's your execution. Goal setting is incomplete without a proper action plan. You can have great goals, but if you have poor execution, you will have poor outcomes. You can have any kind of goal, but if you have successful execution, you'll have successful outcomes. For example, If you decide to have a goal to reduce 10 kgs in 5 to 6 months, you can further break it down into smaller goals like reducing 2 kgs in a month. You can further break it down to reducing half a kg every week. Now for this goal setting exercise, you can have a lot of sub goals, and against each sub goal, you can have an action item which will help you execute those goals. For example, if you have a sub goal to monitor your weight, your action item could be to get a weight machine. You may have a sub goal to switch to healthier options. Against this, you can have an action item to shop for veggies. You can have a sub goal of cutting down junk food. Against this, you can have an action item to avoid eating out every weekend. You can have a sub goal to take steps instead of elevator wherever possible. Against this, you can have an action item to put a reminder or a sticky note on your phone. Tracking your goals. At the start of the year, we all make New Year resolutions. Then, what happens? More than often, the chase of the goals fades out in a month or two. Why? Because we do not keep track of them or have a mechanism to review them regularly. One of the easiest ways to track your goals is through calendar appointments and reminders. All we need to do is set an action reminder. Keep 30 minutes in a week or a fortnight to review your calendar. Review, track, and update them regularly. This would completely change your game. Ask yourself at the end of the day or a week, what did I achieve or learn today or this week? It keeps you accountable towards your performance and goals. Ask that often and it will keep you on track. As final action steps, we can say, break your larger goals in smaller actionable goals. Do one thing at a time. Start with the finish in your mind. Plan ahead for detours or hurdles. Review your goals periodically. Have patience, especially when you do not see results as per your timeline. And finally, finish what you start. Take a goal-oriented approach towards life and you'll see your life getting transformed. Remember, every master was once a beginner. Every achiever was once a seeker. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take that first step today. If you like the video, please press the like button. If you like to see more such videos, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.